The Smart Meters project is one of the most prominent development projects in the state of Kuwait. At the heart of Central Sabhan warehouse of the Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy, the first phase of the Smart Meters installation project was initiated. With the arrival of the first group, in two batches, a total of 130,000 smart meters are waiting to be installed to consumers across the state of Kuwait.
Our aim is to put Kuwait in the first row of the development countries, so Kuwait will keep up with the technology and provide all the services that are provided to the consumer to facilitate all the processes.
The main concept of the smart meter project is to install and replace the current mechanical meters with smart meters throughout Kuwait. These meters are connected to our systems throughout a SIM card which is installed inside the meters. This SIM card can send the readings and the alarms remotely.
Also within the first phase, transportation, processing, and mechanism examination awaits the teams, in addition to approving the certificates of these smart devices to be transferred to warehouses once again, in order to be installed in all sectors designated for those smart meters, including the investment, commercial, and residential sectors. According to an installation strategy that firstly begins with the investment and commercial arenas and then the rest of the sectors, the Ministry has adopted several pioneering projects, all which aim to improve the electrical and water network system while providing new services to customers with high quality and continuity through modern technology. One of the advantages of the Smart Meters project is to have a future vision towards the gradual transformation of the current network from modular to smart, using modern high-tech information systems and contributing significantly to improving the usage of energy in our country. Through smart meters, distinguished digital services are provided to customers in terms of billing services as well as the consumption control aspect.
We installed 41,000 meters, which include three-phase and single-phase in Salmiya area, and we are still working on it. After that, we will continue install in Farwaniya, Hawali, and all Kuwait areas.
We have two types of smart meter, water meters and electricity meters. Electricity meters are divided to three types. LVCT for the consumer that has more than 100 ampere, three-phase and single-phase for the consumer that has less than 100 amperes. The methodology of the project is to install the meters in the field. After that, follow up the meters by using hidden system to check the readings and the events that received from the system. We have two phases in this project. The first phase is to install the meter in the investment sector, and the second phase is to install the meter in the private sector.
The Smart Meter installation project aims to cover all areas of the state of Kuwait within 3 years, in addition to eliminating the delay in issuing bills and the accumulation of debts on the consumer. The new meters are characterized by reading numbers directly to the system via a communication chip that does not require human intervention in any way. Smart meters allow consumers to monitor their meter reading in a smooth way and easy way, so that every person knows the usage consumption and can control their energy usage pattern and payment automatically through smart application.
The project have a lot of advantages for both sides, consumer and ministry. When it comes to the consumer, before he has to take a picture for the meter and then he go to the ministry to pay his bill. However, today only he can check his consumption and consumption average, and he can also pay his bill through an application that the ministry provided. On the other hand, for us as a ministry, before we need to send a technician for checking the meter reading and connect or disconnect the meter. However, today only through the system we can manage the consumption and we can check the last reading. Also, we can connect or disconnect the meter.
This is the way of the following up the meters through the system. On the dashboard, we can see the total meters, the disconnected and the connected meters. We can enter the connected meters through the dashboard. We can select any meter that we want, for example, the first meter. Then we can see all the details information for the meters, for example, the type of the meter, the location. Also, we can see if the meter is connected or not connected. Also, we can see the reading, the last daytime reading, if the reading is normal or not normal. We can see if there are any event or problem that face the meter through the event option. At the end, we can connect and disconnect the meter through the command option.
The Department of Devices Inspection and Measurement in the Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy is considered a vital department through which all projects of interest to the ministry are approved, and among these projects is the Smart Meters project. The aspirations and vision of New Kuwait 2035 for the future in achieving sustainability and advanced infrastructure creates an attractive economic environment that would place the state of Kuwait in the ranks of countries attracting investments, as well as creating modern technological environment that ensures the provision of services at the highest level and in the best way. The Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy attaches special importance to the fact that the project keeps pace with all modern systems, technological development, and plans for digital transformation in all government sectors. In line with the government's work program towards achieving digital transformation, the Smart Meters project contributes greatly to the advanced infrastructure which paves the way for the major transformations the country is witnessing, from urban expansion in new housing cities and to future plans that require collective action towards the formation of a new Kuwait.
1, 0. All engine running.
Kuwait Sat-1, or the National Satellite Project, is determined to embrace space by July 2022, to launch towards a new path for the future, exploring space and engaging in real science and knowledge. Many local and international organizations that carry a research ambition in space science have participated in this glorious project.
Kuwait University started the first project in building the first Kuwaiti satellite at the physics department. They have come with KFAS, which is the funder agency in Kuwait, which they have funded the project to build the first Kuwaiti satellite.
I like to study about space medicine. What are the physiological changes that happen to astronauts in the absence of gravity and with the radiation effect on the human body. I joined this team to learn more about space, and this is a great opportunity for us people who are interested in space in Kuwait. International projects are amazing, they're nice, but being in Kuwait is an ultimate dream for a lot of people who like space. I always wanted to be two things, a doctor and an astronaut. In the future, inshallah, I dream to become an astronaut and to have a space agency in Kuwait.
The project is built on a solid support from the Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Sciences, as well as the participation of a European research center that is one of the largest research centers in the field of microelectronics and the development of solar cell technology in the Kingdom of Belgium.
Multiple government agencies have already come along to this project. The Ministry of Defense, the Kuwait Ministry of Defense is on board with us. And also the KFAS have supported us with a fund. We have also KISR, part of this project, and some other local and international partners.
One of the exciting activities we did is the participation at the Expo 2020 in Dubai last October. This was during the World Space Week, so it was a huge gathering of space enthusiasts around the world about space activities. And it was my pleasure to be part of the team representing Kuwait at the Kuwaiti Pavilion and talking to audience about Kuwait Sat-1. We delivered several lectures for general audience, and it was really exciting. We deal with general audience from time to time because outreach activities are part of Kuwait Sat-1 activities.
In terms of participating bodies within Kuwait Sat-1, it is jointly put together with the contributions of Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Sciences, the College of Science, and the College of Engineering in Kuwait University, the Ministry of Defense, Communication and Information Technology Regulatory Authority, as well as the American University, all standing true to shifting this dream into a nearing reality. The Kuwait Sat-1 is categorized as a scientific project concerned with training Kuwait University students in partnership with local governmental bodies, state institutions, and scientific departments at the university.
I am from the second wave of the CubeSat volunteer. I participate in this CubeSat program because it was an experience for me as a student for going and learning a new journey beside my major.
So as a geologist student, having the chance to join Kuwait Sat-1 was very fascinating for me because I got the chance to learn many new things to do about space with benefiting from my major, which is geology, such as using remote sensing to understand the topography of many surfaces and getting more information about the elevations and any research we can do on that.
The atom of the project started at Kuwait University in the physics department in the year 2018 with a purely scientific aim to build national cadres capable of supporting the space program in all its categories. This atom grew bigger, larger, and magnificently huge, representing the state of Kuwait in international standard.
It is very important to have this kind of activity now. The whole region, the whole international community are changing, the technology are changing and shifting from the ground to space. Being it the internet is going to be supplied by space very soon, within 15 to 25 years. So we need to build this capability. Building the capability involves three things. Number one, the infrastructure. Number two is the human resource investment. Number three is the equipment and systems. With this project, we are fulfilling all these three, but definitely mainly focusing on human resource investment and building the Kuwaiti students into multiple science approaches and also some other part supportive sciences in order for us to prepare them for hopefully soon, when we have the Kuwait National Space Agency.
Around 67 members of various degrees and scientific specializations are cooperatively working in the project, with 67% female and 33% male manpower, dedicated with continuous working hours exceeding a total of 1,000 hours.
Any space activities require an infrastructure to build and test different technologies and to store and archive data. Currently, we have 4 labs. We have the ground station, we have the clean room, the physical lab in which we meet and discuss different projects. We have the computer lab, to do the simulation and the data analysis. The role of ground station lab is to control the CubeSat, receive data and the images for further analysis and data extraction.
The busy network of ongoing productivity is striving to reach the stars of our childhood dreams, stretching their hands to reach space, representing Kuwait with their achievement.
So when I first know that there is such a team, which is Kuwait Sat1, I heard it from my friends in the university. So they told me there's some space team here and we are planning to build a space agency in the future in Kuwait for the first time. And I said, I don't think it's gonna be something serious. But when I applied for the first time and came here for the meeting, I got so shocked. It was so amazing, it was so serious, straightforward, and I loved it.
As a student and joining the CubeSat program, we are aiming to focus about what we study on our major. As a science student, we focus about the data that we are receiving from the KuwaitSat program and how we will work for it and analyzing the figures that we will get from the CubeSat. My dream to have a more than one CubeSat and also, inshallah, to contribute to join the Kuwait Space Agency in Kuwait and to work with them in the future.
The first national project of such dedication, Kuwait Sat1, is only the beginning of a sustainable space project in the future with international standards. Shedding light on the importance of Kuwait Sat1, the project is held within the palm of Kuwaiti hands as it depends on the training of national cadres as well as the planning mechanisms, which is produced by specialized technical teams in addition to workshops from Kuwaiti students. On the implementation of Kuwait Sat1, it will work on specific applications where it will send images through its passage to the state of Kuwait, which in turn will provide a huge quantity of information and data that will benefit future generations, as well as the state of Kuwait in various fields. On board the Kuwait Sat1 satellite, a high-resolution camera captures images of our home planet, Earth, and is used by trainee students for study and analysis.
Our mission is to launching a small satellite to the orbit with camera payload to take pictures for the Earth. Because this is the first mission for Kuwait, we have the following objectives, primary objectives and secondary objectives. The primary objectives are to training and developing human resource to design a space mission and to develop an infrastructure for the first space lab and ground station at Kuwait University. And the secondary objectives are to use the input camera as the ADCS sensor in case of the failure of the actual ADCS sensor, using the camera to save the mission. The second one is to take images for Kuwait and use these pictures to obtain useful data for remote sensing research.
Kuwait Sat1 consists of several subsystems. For example, power subsystem, communication subsystem, the onboard computer subsystem. What concerns us the most is the attitude determination and control subsystem, because this is what we are developing here in Kuwait. The main idea of Kuwait Sat1 is to take images for Kuwait and to develop a software that will be using the camera on board as an ADCS sensor in case the ADCS sensor was failed. And the way we are doing it is by having several images, overlapping images, using techniques called speed motion techniques, we will be able to obtain some parameters, and we will feed those parameters to the ADCS algorithm so that the algorithm will calculate the location and the orientation of the satellite in orbit independently from the ADCS sensor.
Moreover, on the components of the project at hand, the national project for the first Kuwaiti satellite includes two vital parts, the first being a training project and the second is a basic infrastructure as a space laboratory, which will be a first of its kind in the state of Kuwait.
I am pleased to say that I am very happy to be a part of this team because for the first time in Kuwait, what will happen after 6 months, we're going to launch the satellite, the CubeSat-1 in Florida, having Kuwait flag and our names signed on it. So it's going to be so interesting after 6 months exactly.
KFAS have funded the project with the amount of around 300,000 KD. And this will go towards buying the equipment, setting the infrastructure and training the people, which is the Kuwait student that applied to this project. We have received almost now for the 2 waves that we have accepted, we have received almost about 400 applicants. We currently hold about 75 of them into 2 phases. Phase 1, which invested about 2.5 years of education. Phase 2, they have just recently joined and they will be very fully occupied, I should say, in the upcoming 6 months in order for us to prepare them for the launch.
The Kuwait Sat-1 satellite will be launched in the United States of America, and specifically in the state of Florida in the summer of 2022.
The investment in space, it's vital for Kuwait because it will lead us towards the upcoming vision of 2035 when we support other agencies and other government entities with our capability that we will have, hopefully, when we have this space agency. We will have satellites, we will have some other research institutes which supports, and it will give all the data and all the requirement informations to these entities to support them in their tasks and plans.
It aims to train and prepare excellent students, as well as those interested in space, to build national capacities in space manufacturing. The project also aims to design and build the first nano satellites to set a global imprint for the state of Kuwait in space achievement.